Time to review a new Netflix movie that's sure to bake your noodle, Cam. Check this out. Cam stars Madeline Brewer and is directed by Daniel Goldhaber. What's up, guys? There have been some slim pickings, at least for me, for Netflix horror as of late. And I've reviewed some Netflix horror in the past. But recently there was this movie called Cam that's been getting a lot of buzz, and just from seeing the trailer for this movie, I got really interested. Because it's one of those like movies that puts you in a world that normally you would not be a part of. That's what Cam is. It is a psychological horror film. To me, it's like the very definition of a psychological horror film. It doesn't even depend on kills, really, because the world that it puts under the microscope is so interesting and so horrifying, really, that alone is enough to completely intoxicate you. But first, quick plot synopsis. Madeline Brewer, she plays Alice and Lola. Her real name's Alice, but Lola is her internet persona. She is a webcam girl. And, you know, I've heard of webcam girls. I've never watched one, but, you know, it is an internet business that's out there for single guys. Hell, I get, you know, just guys in general. As a matter of fact, I believe Bobby Burns even did like a little documentary on a cam girl that he was a friend with, which I found pretty interesting, actually. You know, it's something that you don't really see every day. Like, we probably don't even know a person that does something like this. But I guess it's like a big business on the internet. And so, the beginning of this movie, we see Alice in her world. You know, they have this room that's all set up, and you know, they have these internet viewers, much like streaming, because I do streaming. I got my stream shirt on right now. But you know, you have chat members, you have viewers, but what they do is they give tokens, and you know, the more tokens they give, then the more they can get out of the cam girl, and that's pretty much up to her. I guess in a way it's like pornography in the modern internet age. And there's a lot more to it than you would think. And it looks exhausting for the person, the cam girl. You know, I can imagine after a day of what they have to do, that the whole thing just must be exhausting. But this movie takes a turn about midway through because someone or something takes the identity of Alice, or Lola, her internet character. And so she can't log into her account. She calls tech support. They can't get her into her account.
Customer support, how can I help you?
Hi, I'm locked out of my account, and I think you guys are just replaying an old show or something.
I don't think that's possible. We can't do that.
But she's watching the screen, and then there is somebody that looks exactly like her that is taking over her account, and really, more importantly, doing things that she did not agree to do. You know, she has a code that she goes by when she does her performance in front of the camera. You know, there's certain things that she won't do. She won't cross that line. And this character does cross that line. And that's when it gets interesting. Now, one thing I found interesting about this movie is how far someone would go to get, in this movie, tokens. That's what she's trying to do, you know, which ultimately results in money. You know, this is what this person does to make a living. But there's more to it than that. It becomes kind of an addiction. And you know what? I can relate to this. You know, being a YouTuber, I'm not gonna lie. Putting it out there right in front of you right now, numbers are important. You know, and if a YouTuber tells you that numbers aren't important, then they're lying, because you are always looking at, you know, where you are, where you rank against things. It's a very competitive field. And this fits right in with that. And I found that interesting because really this is in the, you know, the sex world, the pornography world, but even in this world, numbers matter. And, you know, she's trying to get ranked above number 50. It's interesting to see how far she will go to get that. And there's one scene where they all go to like this cyber club where a whole bunch of cam girls get together and then they do, I guess you could call them collabs. That scene is really sad to look at because, you know, you see these girls doing things that they probably would never do just to get tokens, just to, and more importantly, just to rank. Ultimately, I guess it's just this whole world of this movie that I found so interesting. Also, Madeline Brewer, who plays Alice and Lola, she plays three characters too, because then she's playing the other person that's taking over her identity. And she really just gives it her all in this role. She has to do things that I would not want my daughter to do as an actress, if my daughter was an actress. I mean, just as an actor in general, I'm sure some of these things that she had to do in this movie were not comfortable at all, and she doesn't hold back, you know. She believes in the message of the movie, and she'll do anything to get that point across. And so I got to give her credit for that. Also, this really shows, you know, what some of these fans can be like. You know, there's this character Tinker in there, and he wants to close that gap between himself and the cam girl. He wants to meet her in person. He wants her to fall in love with him. A lot of these guys that she actually has to deal with, they really take it too far, you know. And these are loner types. I mean, let's face it. If you're looking at cam girls, then you probably have a little bit of a screw loose, and that's what these guys are. You know, they're lonely types, and they'll do anything to really. It's all superficial. You know, they want to get this hot girl. Now, also the final act in this movie, I think was really interesting, and it's make or break. It's really ambiguous, but I found the whole thing really interesting. And I will admit, after everything played out in the end, I was scratching my head like, wait, what just happened? And then, you know, it kind of, after I sat back a little bit, I thought about it, and it all made sense. So I think that's, if you're going to do an ambiguous ending, you got to make it where the viewer might not be able to get the whole thing at first, but then eventually maybe they form a few different ideas in their mind of what that ending could be. And I'm not going to spoil that for you guys, but I thought it was a really effective ending, actually. And I guess that's a big plus for this movie too, is it definitely keeps you guessing. You're constantly wondering, how in the hell is somebody taking her identity, and it's a video of her that she's never done before. It kept me guessing throughout the whole thing. And ultimately, I think that ending could have made or broke this movie. And luckily, I think it worked. And really, this is where the horror element really kicks into high gear of this movie as well. As far as any cons, these are characters that are not likable at all. And you might be that type of person where that really matters to you. You know, you need to have somebody to latch onto in the movie, to root for, to like. And I don't think, for the most part, you're going to get this in this movie. I mean, you feel bad for, especially the cam girls, that they're in this situation. But, you know, ultimately they put themselves in this situation. So it's hard to like them, and it's hard to like the people on the other side of the computer screen. But luckily, the story itself I found really interesting. I'm definitely going to give this a purchase worthy. Check it out on Netflix right now, before it's gone. And let me know in the comments what you guys think of Cam. Anyway, guys, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day, and on Fridays we do Free For All Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and Drumdum out.